to go in February, we could take that every.
I wish we had more homes of the week and more open houses of the week, since there's kind of a short supply of homes for sale. And if you've not been in the real estate market and know what's going on in real estate market, that is the story, right, Tracy?
It really is. You know, we really need more homes for sale. We have buyers just waiting. And, you know, Tego, some of the hesitation that when we talk to home sellers or people who want to sell their houses, they want to make sure they have a house to buy. So some people are moving out of New Mexico or moving out of the Albuquerque metro area, moving out of Santa Fe, and they are moving to markets where it's tough to find a home also, because across the country.
It's the classic catch-22, right? I want to sell, but I can't find anything, so I can't sell, which means I can't put my home on the market and make it available for somebody else. So we are in that place, but you know, the thing is, if you're in a starter, let's say, level home in our market now, I'd call that under even 200,000 now.
Under 250, probably.
Yeah. That market is very strong. There's more choices in the higher prices, but even then it's kind of limited, right?
It is. And there's still competition for those higher priced or luxury homes. So, yeah, but, you know, we have lots of solutions for that, and it's not uncommon. We help people sell and buy every day and make it work. And so we'd be happy to chat with you to figure out how to put a strategy together that would work for you if you're ready to sell, but you also need to buy a home. Yeah. So we would love to hear from you, 448-8888. We enjoy coming and doing this radio show every week. Tego, there's a new way people can find information, right? And shows and things.
Oh, you mean on Eddie's new site?
Yeah.
Yeah, rockoftalk.tv. He's got the archive of all of these shows. I'm sure that's what everybody wants to do, is go back and watch us,
if you
talk
miss
about
us,
real estate in Albuquerque.
That's
but
right.
This is what we love to do. So Tracy, I want to talk about this whole idea of selling in this market, and are you leaving money on the table as a home seller? The reality is, this is the strongest seller's market that I think we've ever seen in the Albuquerque area. And it's not just Albuquerque, it's across the country.
Right.
I mean, there's a select few markets that aren't that way, but it is a strong seller's market, which means you put a home on the market, it's most likely going to sell, right? Obviously, price matters, but you know, you could get a let's say a lower price point home that's in fair condition, take some cell phone photos, throw it in the MLS, and you'd get some offers right away. The question is, are you leaving money on the table? Are you leaving money behind when you do that? So, just Tracy, can you talk to folks that are thinking of selling of the things they need to be thinking about?
So, you know, we know from years and years of doing this that our website gets people from all over the world, right? We're seeing people buying houses here that haven't stepped foot here to buy that house. We're seeing people from all over the United States. We're seeing people from actually, in the last month or so, we've had several that are international. They might be PCSing, coming back to Kirtland Air Force Base, or for some other reason are out of the country and coming back
Come
here.
on, you said it real quick. You got to say, what's PCSing if people don't know? I mean, anybody in the military knows what that means. But
PCSing is permanent change of station.
Yeah.
So military people, when they get assigned to a new base, they PCS. Permanent change of station to the new one.
Yeah.
So that happens. But we know that there's a lot of people online shopping and choosing what houses they're interested in. And even though it's a great time to be a home seller, we feel like it's a disservice to our sellers to not present it as professionally and high quality as possible. We've seen some houses that are getting cell phone photos or really crooked, you know, they're not good.
Don't get me started. Yeah.
You know, we feel like perhaps money is being left on the table sometimes, plus the negotiating skills.
Yeah,
you know?
well, that's what I wanted to ask you, because obviously presenting the property, merchandising it, making it show well, you know, be the model home.
Right.
You know, that's going to get you the most from the presentation side. But what about, you know, you get multiple offers. What's important there, and what should your agent be talking to you about, your real estate agent that's helping you?
Right. So multiple offers, it's lovely, right? From a seller's perspective, being able to choose among of 3 or 4 or 5 offers. But the highest priced offer is not always the best offer. And, just this past week with our team, I can think of at least 2 instances where there were multiple offers and the highest priced offer was not the one selected. So all the other terms are very important. Closing timeframes, inspection deadlines, the quality of the financing or the cash, even sometimes cash without any documentation to prove that your buyer has the cash available or ready cash, so to speak, something that can be converted into cash quickly, might mean that there's not faith that cash exists.
Well, and we know, I'm going to say we know all the tricks, right? On when we're representing a seller, we're looking at more than just the bottom line price because there's so much more to it. The pre-qualification, have they actually been pre-approved, or did a lender just kind of take a phone call and get some basic information and said, oh yeah, it looks like you qualify, or are they actually approved for the loan, they're ready to go?
So that's a really good sidebar, right?
Yeah,
so there's pre-approval and pre-qualified.
Right.
So a loan letter that comes to us along with a buyer's offer that says they're they say pre-qualified. Yeah. So a lot of times the language in those letters says, based on the information you've given us, you appear to qualify. However, we have not checked your credit. We have not verified your employment. We haven't checked your taxes. This does not mean we will lend you that money. So you're going, what's the point, right? Why would we give much credibility to that type of letter when it says it's only based on what you told us? You haven't even filled out a loan application to give us all your data. We haven't even pulled your credit yet. Versus pre-qualified, where somebody actually has already pulled their credit and done some of the due diligence to verify some of the information.
And I want to just make something clear here. We're not throwing lenders under the bus. What happens is the buyers call up and say, well, I don't want to do all that now. Just give me my pre-qualification. Well, the buyers are doing themselves a disservice by doing that.
Right.
I assure you that lenders want to do the due diligence and give you, as a buyer, a very strong pre-approved, qualification letter that you submit with your offer. And so buyers need to not try to shortcut that step, because it's going to make a big difference in them winning or losing when they make offers right now, when you've gotten multiple offers.
Right. So the other part of that is, having an experienced agent that does a lot of transactions in this market right now that really knows the ins and outs of how to look at one offer over another for a seller is pretty important to really give good advice and help the seller make a good decision based on what we have and the relationships we might have with other realtors and with local lenders. Yeah. Because obviously working with a local lender is preferred in our market over out of area
100%. We've talked about this many times, but I'm going to say it again. Local lenders that have an office, that have a reputation to protect in town, they want to make sure that they're keeping that reputation strong and doing the right thing. And unfortunately, we've seen it. And again, I'm not trying to slam anybody here. I'm just saying we've seen it when you have these kind of out-of-state online lenders. They just don't have quite as much skin in the game to make sure that everything's good to go and that the buyers are taken care of as well.
Well, and also oftentimes the out-of-area lenders don't know about some special programs that might be available here. They don't have a down payment assistance program for first-time home buyers, right?
Yeah.
They're just more limited on the products that they can offer to home buyers. So that's things to consider when wondering if you're leaving money on the table. So who you choose to sell your home with you does matter.
Again, it's not just about price. It's about working those offers and negotiating the best deal for you
and
long term.
And presenting the property in the best light possible.
Yeah. So you can tell I'm just ready to jump out of my skin because I want to talk about January numbers.
Housing stats, Tego.
I know. Well, it's the first week of February 2021, and here we are. And I'll go through a couple things. I know it's a little more difficult on radio. You guys can't see this, but let me just give you a couple things, Tracy. So the number of homes sold in January this year is up 14% versus January last year.
Incredible, isn't it? Considering that if we had more houses on the market, think how far up it would be.
Well, that goes right into what I was going to say next, which is the number of homes for sale. So again, set that in your mind. 14% increase in sales in January. That was with a 64% decrease in the number of homes on the market versus last January. So to give you an idea, last January had 1,752 homes on the market. This January, 630. That was just for the Metro Albuquerque. Currently, there's about 850 or so in Metro Albuquerque single-family homes for sale. And as I keep saying, we could easily have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 homes on the market and still be in a, quote, balanced market, with the current demand that we're seeing in the market. And I know there's a lot of people talking, and I was on a training where I was talking to some other realtors about, what's going on, doing what I do here, which is talking about the market. And some people are concerned that the prices are going to, tank in 21. And I'll just say, I'll put my name on it that I don't see it. I just don't see it. And
I don't either. Prices can't tank that fast. It's
no, it moves slow.
It moves slow. So I'm sure you have some other stats for us from January.
Well, yeah, the one thing I wanted to talk about was let me go back to that one. Sorry about that. Is the luxury market, Tracy, because that's one place where we've really seen a huge move in the last year. And just to give you an idea, homes over 600,000. If we look at closed sales.
So did you increase that from 500,000? We always talk about homes over 500,000.
Well, this particular stat, I've got it set up as 600 and above.
Okay.
But just to give you an idea, there was a 45% increase in the number of homes over 600,000 that closed in the last 12 months. Okay. If you look at it just for January, there was, I'm on the wrong chart. We had, get this, in January of 2020, homes over 600,000, we had 18 sales. This year, 41 sales in January, over 600,000.
More than double.
That's 128% increase. Yep. So that market's really strong. Yeah, I mean, we don't need to beat this to death. The reality is it's, the market is very strong. It's a very strong seller market in all segments of the market, all parts of town. And I don't see that changing anytime real soon. Speaking of parts of town, I'll leave you with this. Somebody was doing a story for one of the newspapers. I think it was Business First. And of course, they called me to get some stats. And they want to know, okay, what's the hottest zip code in Albuquerque right now? Well, like, what's the craziest, busiest, tightest supply demand? And do you want to take a stab at it, Tracy?
I would guess maybe 87120 Northwest Heights area.
Can I get a high five?
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen this stat,
you're
but
close.
it's Northwest.
You're close. It's 87121 and 87120. Those are the two
I
hottest.
got one of them right.
Well, and they're both in that same part of town, right?
So those are west of the river and north of I-25 or I-40 generally.
Yeah, some of it's
one
northwest,
of it dips a little bit
southwest
south of the freeway.
Yeah. So it, and I can see why, right there. The reality is that part of town, the average price for homes for sale in that area are around 205 versus the overall market where the homes are, I think list prices are now 260, 280, something in there.
Yeah. The other thing about that part of town, the 87120, 87121, there are new schools there and
there's
new
a lot
neighborhoods.
Of new construction.
A lot
there.
of new construction. Yep. The prices of new construction is higher, but it's not always reflected as well from our numbers because not all the new homes are going through our multiple listing service. So.
Okay, we got a fun story here, Tracy. Let's just talk about this. This came up in one of those, let's be honest, it's kind of one of those, clickbait stories, that pop up and said, we did a survey and we found out, and what are the sunniest cities in the United States? And so, they
did actual data from the National Oceanic and and Atmospheric Administration. So it wasn't just hey, Tego, where do you think is sunniest?
Well, it's interesting. You've got the usual suspects, right? Yuma, right? That's number one.
Well, that's not anything I would have rolled off my tongue. Yuma, Arizona. I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never been there.
Yeah,
so
it's
I wouldn't have thought of Yuma.
Pretty dry there. Redding, California, which is, in that same general vicinity, kind of in the
I would have thought
the
Phoenix
desert.
number one if you'd asked me.
Yeah, well, it's actually
Scottsdale.
Las Vegas and Phoenix and Tucson all tie. Now that's Las Vegas, Nevada. I know we have it's not Las Vegas, New Mexico, even though Las Vegas, New Mexico is lovely. But Las Vegas, Phoenix, Tucson all tied. El Paso was right there. Fresno, and I would not have thought of Fresno.
Don't think of Fresno as sunny.
No, I think of it as farm country, right?
Yeah.
I guess it's
a
all
little
irrigated.
inland. I don't know.
It is inland. I guess it's
Yeah.
irrigated. I've never been there, so I can't talk. Reno, I thought that was interesting. Again, we're talking sunniest cities in the U.S. going down the list. Sacramento, again, one of those inland California cities. I wouldn't have really thought that.
And it's
And
Albuquerque,
there we are.
just ahead of Key West, Florida.
Number 11. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. Everything in the top 11 are all southwestern cities. You have to get to number 12 before you hit
East
Florida.
Coast. Yeah, Florida.
Yeah. So I thought, anyway, interesting. Look at that. Roswell's number 15. Pueblo, just up the road, is 13. So some of our neighbors around here. I mean, the reality is people like New Mexico because of our weather, right?
Right. Our 4 seasons, our sunshine.
Yep.
And it doesn't get too cold and it doesn't get too warm. So it's pretty awesome.
Us that grew up in the Midwest, Tracy, we can still have our seasons here.
They're perfect.
But yeah, pretty mild.
I don't miss some of the seasons from the Minnesota days, don't you know?
I'll bet Yeah.
Okay.
Tracy, I wanted to talk about, let me pull it up here. Hold on one sec here. I've heard this, and I don't know why this keeps coming up, but why people think you need 20% down to buy a home.
I heard people this week, somebody on our team asked the rest of them and said, how do I tell somebody, no, you don't need 20% down to buy a home? And I'm like, really? People still think that? And this was millennial. This was millennials
I'm surprised.
that felt like you couldn't buy without 20% down, and it wasn't wise even if you could buy with less than 20% down.
If you're a fan of Dave Ramsey, obviously the financial guy, I mean that's his thing, right? He says put 20% down and do a 15-year mortgage. Now, I don't know if he still believes that with a 3% interest rate. The money is so cheap. I mean,
he doesn't believe in debt.
He doesn't believe
in debt or credit cards.
Right.
So it depends who you're listening to.
I think part of his thinking is he deals with so many people that get themselves in trouble with debt that maybe that's part of his paradigm. I
think he realizes there are a lot of people who can't manage a credit card or finances, and so they just have to it's just cut it all off. And pay it all down and don't open up credit cards again or have debt. However, with interest rates at 3% and sometimes below, I don't know, locking in a monthly mortgage rate right now, even if prices are up, is still a great time to be a buyer.
I think so. And I, had this conversation with another realtor that was saying, well, what do I do? I don't know how to tell my buyers because I'm afraid they're going to overpay and then I'm going to have to sell the home for them last year. And I'm like, well, hold on a second. Do they need a place to live? This is what homes are selling for right now? Okay, do we know what's going to happen in the future? So, I mean, it's like, it's tough because, Tracy, we went through 2009, 2010, 2011 when people were having to sell their homes for $50,000 less than they paid for them, right? I mean, we saw some of that. I just do not see that in the cards anytime in the next few years. I just don't. I mean, we're going to have a slowdown, absolutely. I just don't see a big decrease in home prices anytime soon.
Right. So it's a big myth. 20% down for buying a home is a big myth.
I really took that off track, didn't I?
Yeah. Getting back to where we were at.
Getting back to what we were actually talking about. So this study, Tracy, you want to talk about that? It was a profile of home buyers and sellers that the National Association does, and they said, what actually people really put down.
And what they really put down, first-time home buyers, about 7%, which is interesting because 3.5% down is an FHA
Right.
borrower loan minimum. And a lot of first-time home buyers are FHA borrowers with 3.5% down. But that means there's a bunch of them that are putting 10% or more down,
Yeah.
which is great. And hopefully families are helping them if they don't have more than 3.5% down, and they're gifting them that money so that they can have more equity in their homes.
Gift, not a loan. Gift, not a loan.
Yeah. I'm saying if you're in a position to
Yeah.
gift, what a better gift you can give your child
Sure.
than to build wealth through, through real estate. All home buyers, though, it's average of 12% down payment. So the 20% hasn't come in yet. 20% doesn't even come in with repeat buyers. They're at 16%.
Yeah, so it's interesting,
So-
and the reason, and just to clarify why somebody would want to put 20% down, is because of mortgage insurance, right?
For some loan programs. So
Yeah.
mortgage insurance is something that's a insurance, that's money that's paid every time you pay your payment, that's given to a company that's insuring to your lender that if you default and stop paying, they're responsible, not the bank or the lender, right?
Right. And so, that financially that does make sense, because you're not having to pay that if you have the wherewithal to come up with the 20% down payment.
Right. But there's the great VA loan, right? The VA loan is the best loan out there.
Oh, yeah.
And there is no mortgage insurance on that.
Yeah.
And there shouldn't be. It's a benefit to our veterans that qualify for a VA loan. There's no down payment required and no mortgage insurance. So it's a great loan, great rates.
That is by far the best program out there,
But not everyone qualifies.
But not everyone qualifies.
You have to do your time.
Side note, Tracy, what other? I'm going to do this as a Jeopardy question.
Test.
What other program in New Mexico is available for 0 down payment, and they are out there?
I know the answer.
I know you know the answer.
It's the USDA.
Yeah.
For rural areas. And
Yep.
some rural areas are in Sandoval County, are in Valencia County, are in Torrance County.
Yep.
I don't know that there's any in
I don't
Bernalillo
think there's any
County?
in Bernalillo County, but Santa Fe County. So you get out
Yep.
to Edgewood. If you go to the East Mountains, Moriarty, down south, like you
Right.
said, there's areas where you can get those USDA programs.
It
And
still
they're
might be better to do the FHA, though, versus that. It just kind of depends. But getting a great lender to help you know the difference and help you pick which loan program. A lot of times buyers have no idea, that there's all these different loan programs, and it takes a really good lender to talk with them to find out what product is going to be right for them.
Yeah.
So, Tego.
Yes.
March will be here before we know it. It's going to blow in, right? Our windy season. So March
Do you know what March is going to mean? It means that we've been in this for a year.
I know. Well, we're almost there right now.
I know.
That's right. So we sent our staff
We've
home
been in
March
this
15th.
thing that shall not be mentioned for a year. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So March starts our busiest season for people putting their
Yeah.
homes on the market to sell. I would say let's talk sooner than later. Give us a ring, 448-8888, and let's talk sooner about what your goals are for putting your home on the market this spring. We know that mid to late March is when things really heat up here and houses come on the market. We have a lot of buyers waiting. You might want to beat that rush, or you might want to have that list of bullet points that you want to do before you get your home on the market. We'd be happy to be a part of that and talk through it with you. And really April, May are our busiest months for selling homes. So if you're thinking you're going to sell your house, July, you might want to move that timetable up.
And really a lot of the pendings start kicking in March. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we were just talking about.
Oh, that's what you just said.
So let's talk. Yeah, you were busy looking at something else.
I was looking at this new listing in the North Valley that I think we need to talk about.
Open house Saturday.
Yep.
11 to 1, 104 Pequeño Road. Pequeño Road is close to Ranchitos Road and close to Edith and 2nd Street.
Yep.
It's $350,000, and I think it's just under an acre.
Yeah, 0.87 is what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's 2,200 square feet, northern New Mexico look house, 2-car garage. it has 5 bedrooms though. So if you're looking for something in the valley, and it's pretty easy to get in and out of the valley from there, Paseo del Norte is right there. Montano's not too far. Osuna.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's,
open house Saturday, 11 to 1.
I was going to say, well, there's not a lot to choose from there. And I realized, well, there's not a lot to choose from anywhere right now. So
Yeah.
but it is a nice one if you do want that kind of rural feeling in the city. If you're not familiar with the North Valley or Corrales, for example, you get that rural kind of New Mexico feel, but you're kind of right in the middle of suburbia, which is kind of odd, but
No, it's
that's
great.
why people love, the North Valley and Corrales,
There's
right?
ditches nearby to walk or
Yeah.
walk your pets or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the only open house I know of for this weekend. And Sunday, Super Bowl, right?
Oh yeah.
So we know that starts early on Sunday,
is there
getting
a
things
football game?
together and having yourself ready and watching all the pregame and watching my guy Mahomes come out. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So we know that.
Hey, I'm gonna root for the old guy Brady because
There you go.
I gotta stick with the old guys. Okay, he's way younger than me, but he's still an old guy as football goes.
It's a very interesting matchup for sure. You've got young Mahomes and Tom Brady, so it's going to be interesting. Even though if your team isn't in it, and I know a lot of the teams are not in it, you can still be interested in it just because of the repeat possibility of the up and coming Chiefs and Tom Brady at a new organization. So it's pretty exciting. So we don't have any open houses that I'm aware of on Sunday, but it could happen. We could
happen.
Could have somebody that wants one.
I don't.
That would be a good event. Something where you could do where every Super Bowl Sunday you have like the morning Super Bowl before everybody goes, and a great marketing ploy. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Open houses early, 10 to 12 or something. Although Saturday we do have 2 open houses. It just dawned on me besides that one. Somebody's holding the one on it's a name.
Tracy.
It's
Come
like
on,
a woman's
Tracy.
name from
Come
10
on.
to 2.
Yeah.
And then another agent on our team is holding it open from 7721 Roberts.
Okay.
It's a man's name, right? Roberts. 10 to 12 and 12 to 2. It will be held open.
That was impressive how she
77.
pulled that out, right, Eddie? You just like out of the
So
Knowing exactly how she thinks about it.
searching the hard drive for it.
7721 Roberts is going to be a great house in the Northeast. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
4-bedroom on a third of an acre. I think it's near like Paseo and let me just see, Wyoming. Yeah, it's the southwest corner of Paseo and Wyoming. It's a nice, good size home. So that one's going to be open Saturday.
Yep.
10 to 2 with 2 different agents. So that is typically kind of by appointment. So you might want to call us if you want to schedule a time because that'll be the first showings. 448-8888.
Yep.
And then, we got to a place in the market where you just started the show, and they're all appointments and they're all offers. That's literally where we are right now, right?
Yeah, 100%, Eddie. It's
That's the strangest thing.
So wait, let me tell you this one story. I know we're out of time, but we're going to go over anyway. So we put one active Thursday night, meaning made it active in the MLS, available for agents to start scheduling
on Friday.
Was it Friday?
We did it Thursday night, but they could start scheduling on Friday.
That's right. No. But no, they started scheduling on Thursday night for Friday.
Right.
Within 1 hour of that Thursday making it active, there were 20 appointments for Friday to see this home. And that's...
we got to a contract?
Yeah, we had... I think
8.
that one only had 8 only.
But
And,
the showing system that the board uses now only allows you to schedule half-hour increments, so you can't overlap.
keep
So
them
I think
spaced
we
out.
could have had more showings if they were allowing overlapping showings.
And I know it was that beautiful marketing and merchandising that made the difference too, Eddie.
And COVID, well, when you're getting over top dollar, you don't want to leave any money on the table.
That's right.
But in a COVID environment, there can only be one family or one group, one
Right.
scheduled during that time. Is that correct?
That's right.
That is right. Yep.
Yep.
There we go. 448-8888. That's 448-8888. WelcomeHomeABQ.com. That's the website. Tego and Tracy, thanks for joining us here on a Wednesday.